I recently went through a mini dark night of the soul. And if you're not familiar with what a dark night of the soul is, a dark night of the soul is basically a crisis of the spirit. And it's usually triggered by something like a death or just something that rocks you to your core. Now, it's not to be confused with depression, although it can look like depression, it can feel like depression. But the difference with the dark night of the soul is there's an inner transformation waiting. It's ripe with rebirth. It's an ego death, as in a lot of cases, because it's something when something happens, someone you love dies, a tragedy happens, a trauma happens, and you go into this place. It's guided by something that can be absolutely transformational and has the opportunity of rebirthing you. That excuse me, that's the difference between being in a depressive state. They're hard. Dark nights of the soul are so hard. But when you recognize that that's what you're in and you're not just a depressed person, it gives you the opportunity for deep, deep transformation. And it can be quite beautiful. So I recently went through a mini dark night of the soul. And the reason I say mini is because I'm just now coming out of it. And it lasted the depth of it lasted maybe a month. And what it was for me was something from the outside. I went through an event that just the most difficult thing I've gone through as an adult person. Let me turn off my email. Happened about 6 weeks ago. And it was an event that I didn't predict. It was an event that rocked me on all levels. And for sure, I went into places where I was like feeling hopeless. And I was in a spiritual crisis. But throughout the entire thing, I knew I was going to come out of this on the other side stronger, bigger, better than ever. I also knew that this event was as hard and as awful as it was guided by my soul. Like, I know that. And it's what I did with it. For a good couple weeks, I was in, thinking about quitting my business. Is this what I really want to do? And it had, the event had nothing to do with my business, but I felt this whole crisis, this whole thing of like, who am I? What do I want to do in this world? How do I want to show up? And I went into a little bit of victim thinking of like, oh my God, like, God, I've dedicated my life to supporting other people, rising people up, showing them their light, showing them their power, deprogramming people, clearing people, all of that stuff, helping people help themselves. It sounds like a commercial. Let me help you. Help me help you. What is that? Help me help you. And, I went into this like victimy, and this happened? Really? Really? This happened. So I was like, why didn't I just quit? Like, I had these really dark thoughts. And of course, this is another conversation, but when you're feeling down, you can be like loosh, like feeder. If you're not careful for like little menacing energies that want to get in your mind and get you to quit the things you love or feel bad about yourself. And so I was not in a high vibration. So these looshy type of energies were coming in, and that was happening. Like, you should just quit, like go get a job, doing something else, all these other things are, I loved my house. I was like, I love my house. And then, look, this isn't where I want to live. Like all these things, like everything started to feel I just started to see everything through a perception for a couple of weeks where it was not okay. And I was losing hope. However, like I said, I did know it would pass. I did know that. And I knew that it was an opportunity for deep, deep transformation. And that's where I am now, as I'm getting to the other side of it. And as I've been purging what happened. So the dark night of the soul, if you're going through one right now, or you've been through one in the past, it's really good to know, is this a dark night? or am I in depression? Depression is a very different beast. It's a very different energy, and it has a way of like sucking you in, and you're in this vibration, and it's like deeper and deeper into the self, deeper and deeper into the darkness of the self. The dark night of the soul is different. It's something, it's like almost, it's a catalyst. So if something has, if you're currently going through something in real time that's bringing you into those darker places, or something has happened, know that there is a way out. Know that there is light on the other side, and it is up to you and your warrior spirit. It is up to you and to ask for that guidance, ask for that support, be in prayer. Don't go at it alone. When this happened to me, immediately I'm reaching out to practitioners I know. Immediately I'm getting support. I'm amping up my team. I was like, got to get my team in place. I needed more team, not less. More team, not less. My friend came to visit me from New Mexico, drove here to be with me while my husband was out of town. She came to sit with me so I wouldn't have to be alone with just me and my daughter, because what happened was really tough. So I amped up my support. I amped up my team. So if you're in a place like that, you don't have to do it alone, and know that there is deep transformation on the other side. And you're not depressed, you're in a spiritual crisis. You're not depressed, you're in a place of rebirthing yourself. And you know, when you get the death card in the tarot or on an oracle, it's like, oh my God, am I dying? Part of you is, it's the ego death. We have to go through ego deaths in our life in order for us to grow. And we got to be, if you're in this place, because I went through it too. I just went through it in real time. And the victim was like, oh, really wanted to be strong in me. Like really, like God was, I was like, I went to a place of God's mad at me. Do you know how wacko that thinking is? My husband was like, Beth, what are you doing? I'm like, God's mad at me. Like, why did this happen? Right? I went into the why, into the spinning for a few days. And then I shifted to the what. Then I shifted to the show me. Then I shifted to the how can I transform this? And now I'm feeling this surge, this power. And it's like, this gets to, okay, no, I'm not quitting my business. No, I'm not quitting serving people. I'm going to use this fuel and wisdom to be of service. I'm going to use this fuel and wisdom to be stronger than ever, more powerful than ever, to release the masks, any of them. So if you're going through a dark night of the soul, one, don't do it alone. Don't do it alone. I meet so many people where they say they want help, but they don't take action. And as a practitioner, that is the number one most frustrating thing. I can't even tell you. I know, and I have compassion for it, and I understand it. But there's a part of me that wants to be like, stop doing this. Why? You can have a team. And not only that, a team in human bodies, but a team of spirit. And know that it's going to pass. Know that there is not, don't be in the why. Why did this happen? Why did he leave me? Why did she do this? Don't be in the why, be in the what. What is this showing me? How is this teaching me? Where is this bringing me? Go into power questions. The why is a question. It's a victim question is what it is. No. So if you're in this place, it's like shifting, because the dark night of the soul has the ability to transform you in ways where you're gonna wake up like out of the chrysalis, because apparently butterflies it hurts when they're going through that. It's like getting off the goo, coming out, and then transformation, right? The rise of the phoenix. That is what is available for you on the other side. And one day, even if you're not currently going through it, you will. We all do. And that's not to be paranoid or be like, oh my God, when is it going to happen? Just be like, it'll happen, and I'll be ready. I'll be ready, because I'm going to have my toolbox ready to go. I have an amazing toolbox, and even I went there for a couple of weeks, and it was okay. I brought myself out of it in the past, you know, before I started doing this work, I would live there, live in the why. I'd live in the victim. Not this time. Not this time. So no, it's going to pass. And get your team together. Even if you're not in the dark night of the soul, get your team together. All right. My name is Beth Osmer, and I will see you on the next